Behavioral considerations are important for effective early action and early warnings. One of the key issues we've observed is there's a lot of investment going into anticipatory action space in particular, but what we often observe as a result, interventions are not necessarily leading to the sort of actions that we're expecting.
The problem that we see happening is low uptake of innovative solutions to address persistent challenges that pastoralist communities face.
We have this big black box, or what we also like to call the intention-action gap, where we don't really understand what types of decisions the people concerned are actually making.
There's an issue at the onset with problem identification and what the solution might be to that problem. If a person considers and sees somebody having a challenge that they're facing and they label the problem without talking to that person, they may have different ideas of what the problem is that is being experienced. What this leads to is what we're calling an incongruence between what is perceived to be a challenge versus what people may say is the challenge or problem that they face.
Typically people, they are not just facing that one risk that we are informing them about, right? So if you give them an early warning about drought, they're typically facing other risks and hazards and complications alongside that.
We can't treat pastoralists as a homogeneous entity. So for example, when we talk about pastoralist women, while we can mention them as one group, we have to appreciate that there's heterogeneity within that group that we have to consider. When people face a drought, you think, oh, they face scarcity of water. But in actuality, that may not be the problem people face. Maybe they face loss of income. Maybe they face inability to pay school fees. And so that alone highlights the fact that we can't assume from the onset what the problem is without talking to people. Maybe we should find out what people are already doing to respond to the challenges that they face. People may not be passively waiting for solutions to be provided to them.
A lot of times the interventions and services, for example, anticipatory action interventions, we assume, you just provide the information and the resource and everything will be fine. But there's an incredible amount of effort a lot of times required from the people receiving that. A lot of friction is created within these interventions that we're not really aware of. So how can we design interventions in a way that meet people where they are, works within their realm of possibilities?
One thing that we think is also important is building in some sort of mechanism to test assumptions, to see, is it working and is it working for whom? What's not working? What do we need to improve? And that is something also that requires a commitment to patience and a willingness to learn and potentially to have prevailing assumptions be tested and thrown out the door and to try something new throughout that process as well.